Hi guys! Welcome to my knitting and crochet vlog. I am mandyvaughnknits and you can find me under that name on Ravelry or Instagram and YouTube, of course. I film about once a week and release every Tuesday, as long as life permitting, I guess I should say. And I just like to come on and share the things that I've been knitting and crocheting and crafting in general. Now, lately I've been on a color work kick and I've been trying to teach myself some new tools for my toolkit, basically on knitting, color work, and it's been going. If you watched last week, you'll know that I kind of a fail with jacquard floats. Kind of not. It's one of those things you have to practice, so I'm gonna give myself grace there. This week, I've been working on my sweater for my mom. I'm doing the Irish Gold cardigan by Joji Locatelli. And I've also done a hat for my son. And it's a color work hat, and it has cats on it. So those are like all the amazing things at once. Now, this episode's probably going to be shorter because I don't know about you guys, but I've had a terrible week. It started with all of a sudden on Wednesday, Valentine's Day, of course, right? I got horrible pain. I am a wheelchair user and I am incompletely paralyzed, although I'm very quickly, I guess you could say, trending towards completely paralyzed, or at least to the point where I'm not moving my lower limbs very well. But anyways, all that to say, on Wednesday till today, I've had terrible nerve pain, everywhere. Last year, if you watched my podcast, you'd know that I was diagnosed with septic arthritis after an infection went basically wild. I had to go to the ER 3 times for them to finally listen to me to agree with the fact that I had an infection, because does anybody else have a problem where when they get an infection or get sick, their body doesn't show very many signs? So I don't get a fever and my white blood cells kind of go up, but they were insisting that it wasn't enough to be considered an infection. We basically waited until my whole hip was hot to the touch, and by then it had just gone crazy. Anyways, that whole process took 2 months, and for those 2 months I was in so much pain that I felt like I was dying. And because of that, we called the ambulance 3 times, and that pain all of a sudden came back on Wednesday. So that wasn't good. The good news is that it's starting to lessen every day. So I'm hoping, I don't know what it was, but I'm hoping it just goes away because nobody needs that. So anyway, good news, it's starting to get a little bit better. Bad news, we're going to the indoor water park tomorrow, which is why I'm filming today. Today is Saturday. Usually I film on Sunday, and it's really, couldn't you have picked a better week to have this issue body? Anyways, let's get back to the knitting because that's why you're here. So this is the cat hat that I made my son. Isn't it cute? So you're gonna see that it's a little wrinkly, and I'm going to explain why that happened. So I love this crown, it's so pretty. So I used limited edition from Lion Brand, which is 100% acrylic yarn. So it's not going to black out as nicely as wool would. And I can't throw it in the washer and dryer because see this black here? That's Cascade 220. Of course it is. why wouldn't I just use acrylic for everything? Because I would imagine if I threw it in the washer and dryer, it would totally like even out the stitches a little bit. At least that's my thought. But here we are. I love these cats. And my brain is not in the right headspace to tell you what this pattern is, so I'm gonna just put it down below. I don't remember. I'm going to be making my daughter one, and I'm going to learn from this one, from my son. And he loves it, but I would really like, I don't know. First of all, this just doesn't seem tight enough. It doesn't go in enough. Do you see how that's like a straight line? It's bothering me. And I went down a needle size. So I'm thinking that the acrylic yarn I'm using is probably not the best for color work. And I hate saying that. Or at least it's not the best for color work when it's used in combination with non-superwash yarn. If it were all acrylic, I think that would be better. But also, this limited edition acrylic is very, very microfibery. Have you ever had like a microfiber couch or sofa? You rub your hands along it and it has that feel. This yarn has that feel. So I'm wondering if maybe that's not helping with the whole blocking thing. But like I said, my son likes it. I have some, what do I have? I have some Cascade 220, which is wool. And I have some pink, light pink alpaca, which is what I might be using to make my daughters. So I've got black and purple in Cascade 220 and light pink alpaca. And the light pink alpaca is very fuzzy, so I'm thinking it would make really cute cats. But the problem with all of this is, like that purple and outlining the cats in black, you're not going to be able to tell the difference. The purple and black are pretty much the same color. So maybe I will use blue, like a light blue up here instead. Would that be weird? I don't know. I won't know until I see it. I did like this pattern though. It's very fun because you start at the top and it has this really easy increase for the crown that looks very pretty. And you know, I've never increased the way that it told us to before, but I really like that. That would be a fun decrease to use for a hat. And the best part about the increase here is that it was worked every row instead of every other row because of how it's done, and I really like that. So this is the cat hat, and it makes me super happy. And we'll see how the cat hat works for my daughter. I have other yarn that I could pull out if I really need to. But the problem is I have to find it, and I'm like trying to go through batches of it at a time, which doesn't always work from a color perspective, but I'm sure I can make a hat that will match. It might not be my daughter's colors, but that's okay. I can wear it because I love cats too. So hang on, I'm trying to straighten out my mom's cardigan here, because I have 2 yarn balls attached to it, because I am getting ready to change skeins and I don't want any color color pooling. And of course, it doesn't really help when I'm on such a small needle. Well, it's not, yeah, comparative to the, it's a small needle. So here's the cardigan, and I have the sides done and pretty much everything done and joined. You can see the little join under the armhole. And oh, it's gonna be so much fun. I hope she likes this. Now, this pattern has been super easy to make. You can see right here that there's no button bands, and there's not going to be any button bands. There's just like on purpose rolling, so it rolls in a little bit. And I kind of like that. I think it looks nice. And I love this color. Now, the fronts didn't take me too long. It seemed like the back took a lot longer than the fronts, which doesn't really make much sense because the two fronts equal the back. But still, that's not how it seemed to me. It seemed like the back took forever compared to the fronts. Maybe because it broke it apart. So this is a size 6, I believe. So it is 60 inches, and the cardigan is meant to be worn with around 12 inches of ease according to the pattern. So I did that to my mom's specifications with her size and everything. And what else can I tell you? It is knit in fingering weight wool. And you can see my stitch markers down below, which I use a lot of, and I will continue to use a lot of because I don't want to mess up this lace again. See, you can see how the lace kind of stacks on each other, and when you mess it up, it doesn't look good. Not at all. Or at least not to me. Especially not for a gift. If I was wearing it, I would find a way to make it work. Like, during blocking, just pull it to where it kind of blocks the way you need it to. But for a gift, I'm not going to do that. I'm spending a lot of time on this, and I want her to like it and wear it. So it's my hope that I get it to the point of being a very good cardigan that she can, you know, throw on whenever. I love the fact that it's in fingering weight wool because that means that it can be super lightweight but keep you warm still, but also not overheat you. It's like a conundrum. But if you've ever worn like a fingering weight sweater, I think you know what I mean. They're very good for that. It's my favorite weight yarn to knit with, especially garments, just because they're easiest. Oh, that's so pretty. Maybe I should make myself one of these. So, like I said, tomorrow we're going up north for a couple of days, and we're going to visit a yarn shop. And I have it in my head that I want to find some lace weight yarn, which sounds insane. Or not even lace weight. I want some sort of silk. Yes, silk. It doesn't have to be lace weight, and it probably shouldn't be, because more than likely, if it is lace weight, I'll have to hold it double, which can get very expensive. So some sort of silk. I really want to make a flowy cardigan in like a silk. I think that would be very good, and I don't have one of those. But when we go to the yarn store, I'm going to be looking for something like that, and if they don't have anything, generally when we go there, I let my kids pick out, like, they have Malabrigo Rasta, and I'll let them pick out a color or two, and I can make them a couple of hats with it. So this is fingering weight, and it took me quite a while to do. Like, I mean, fingering weight takes longer to knit up, right? So this was most of my knitting time this week, outside of the cat hat. I have a couple of knitting plans that I have in my head. I mentioned one of them, which was to find a silky yarn that I could make a cardigan with. Another one would be, I have some, what do I have? I have some matching yarn that I want to knit the Thursday special with from Alina Nodell, and I'll put a picture up here. It is very cute, and I'm thinking that I can knit one for my daughter and then knit one for me to match without being too matchy, because we have different colors, but it's the same yarn base. And I think that she'll really like that, especially to be able to wear it for school, because she's always wearing cardigans and sweaters to go over her uniform. I think those are my main plans, at least my main upcoming plans, besides working more with color work. I know I'm going to make the cat hat, and I know I'm going to finish this. I will probably wait to cast on any other sweaters or cardigans until I'm done with this one, just because I want this to be my main focus outside of color work stuff. Because I feel like for a project like this, or well, any adult sweater or cardigan in fingering weight, that you really need to focus on it. Otherwise, it's just gonna seem drag. That's what it's gonna do. But honestly, this hasn't seemed like it's taking that long, and I think it's honestly because I really do like the lace pattern. I love lace patterns that are so easy you don't have to pay attention to them. So that is the end of the knitting and crochet content for this week. It was very short. I'm sorry. I haven't been feeling as well as normal, so it is what it is. Hopefully whatever this is and whatever's going on passes in the next couple of days, because it just really needs to. So now is the start of my life stuff, which is going to be very, very brief. So if that's not something that you're interested in, thank you for showing up, and please hit the like or subscribe if you haven't. I would really appreciate it. So tomorrow, like I said, we're going to the indoor water park, and my kids are going to have a blast. And it's all climate controlled, so it's nice and warm, which means I'm going to like it because it will make my back feel better, but also because while they're having a blast, I'll get to sit and knit, which is awesome. I know I could go into the water with them, but whenever you're in a wheelchair, it's a whole different sort of preparation to get into the water that it just makes it so not worth it. I know that sounds bad, and you know what, to be fair, I wasn't big on getting into the water when I could do it independently. So that's probably one of the reasons. I am just naturally a super cold person. And now if it were like, say, a hot tub or like a heated pool in our backyard, then I could see going in it. But for like a huge crowded public place, it's just not worth it to me. So I would rather sit around and knit. My husband goes in the water with them and they have a great time. They run him ragged. And then at the end of the day, we'll go They have a really cool restaurant that we love to go to that serves fried pickles, which are amazing. If you've never had fried pickles, you should totally try them because they're so good. And they also have cheeseburger pizza. I'm sure this restaurant has a ton of other amazing food, but like every single time we've been there, we've ordered the cheeseburger pizza because it's so good. Amazing. It's just awesome. So this week we've celebrated Valentine's Day, which was fun. And for Valentine's Day, my daughter, she gave me an Eevee plushie, and she was so super excited about it. If you don't know, Eevee is from Pokemon, and she specifically searched out my husband to get him to order that plushie, and she was so proud giving it to me. It's so cute. And kids can really be cute sometimes. I'm still keeping on and going strong on like the Amazon AWS class that I've been taking. Studying has kind of taken a back burner to the pain that I've had, and I've been listening to audiobooks a little bit more. I listened to A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham, and that was really good. What else did I listen to? What am I listening to now? My brain is blanking. I don't know. Oh, I'm listening to Ward D by Frida something. I'll put it down below. That one just started though, so I haven't gotten very far. I did really like A Flicker in the Dark, and it was one of those books that I read so fast because I couldn't put it down, which was good and was a distraction, so I'll take it. That's pretty much it on this end. I'm hoping that we don't get snow tomorrow and we have a safe drive, because it's a couple of hours away, so we don't want snow to make it worse. Anyways, thank you guys so much for stopping by, and I'm glad that you came. And if you could, please hit the like button or hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I will appreciate it. I will see you guys next week, and I hope that you have a great week and take care. Thank you. Bye.